Hello, everybody, and welcome into a Friday edition of Daily Davinci Debacle with me, Ken Stout of Ken Stout Live. Only today it's Daily Devaci. Daily Devaci. There you go. Word of the day, English. Daily Davinci Debacle. It is January 19th, 2024. It is 3:09 p.m. I was messing around earlier in DaVinci and I thought, I need to do something. Let's just do a recording and possibly see if we can go from there. So, I changed my background to the screen to DaVinci. After all, this is the Daily DaVinci. So let's fire up DaVinci. And with a little bit of luck, this will work the way that it's supposed to. Don't have the camera going today. I don't have any lights on. And if I try to use the green screen camera, then it's just a green screen. And that looks kind of old and dull and boring. So I am going to go with an untitled project. So we're going to open it up by double clicking, or you can click open down here. I'm going to double click it and it's going to open up to an untitled project. Excuse me. First thing you want to do is come down here to the gear icon and you want to click on that so you can do your settings. Now today's particular thing I want to try is something interesting for me. So I'm going to reverse the timeline resolution is 1920 by 1080. I'm going to flip these around because I want this to be in landscape. So we want this to be 1080. Well, as soon as I get it to cooperate with me, we want this to be 1080 by 1920 because I want to do it in a short YouTube aspect. And I can't remember if I click on use vertical resolution or not. So we are going to look at something real quick. I could pause this, but yeah, I'm going to pause it. Hang on. All right, my nose was just bugging me. I wanted to use it. So I am going to uncheck this. Oh, that puts it back there. So we're gonna again change it to 1080 by 1920 because that's what I want. Automatically puts that there. And then we're going to change the frame rate, but we want the frame rate to match the video that you're going to be editing. Right now it's at 24 frames per second. Now I happen to know the one that I want to use is at 30 frames per second, and I found that out by, I don't think there's anything in here. There's not. So I went to my desktop and then I went down here to recordings for OBS, or no, actually I'm wrong. It's not in there. It's in DaVinci data, golf projects, and then down here at the bottom it's in December. It happens to be this one right here. So I right click on it, properties, details, frame rate is 30 frames per second right here. So I'm good with that. Just verified that it's 30 frames per second. We're going to switch this over to 30 frames per second. And that's all we're going to change. We're going to save it. Then we're going to go find that same exact video, clicking on the media pool, right clicking, import media, and it goes back to where I was. So it knows this is what it knew where I was at. So this is where I went. So I'm going to grab this. We're going to open. We're going to give it time to populate, come into the project, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to drag it down to the timeline. Close the media pool so we get more area to work with. And there we go. We just took a 1920 and changed it into here. Okay. Now what we can do, we can open up another project by going Control N, timeline number 2. We don't want to use these settings. We're going to uncheck that. We're going to go to Format, and we're going to change it back to 1920 by 1080. I think it'll do it right here. I'm not 100% sure on this. We're going to find out though. Finding out together. And then we hit enter. Now we have timeline number 2. Now timeline number 2, I can drag down here, and there you go. So if I knew how to split the screen where I could show you both timelines, you will see this is timeline number 2. And then if I drag timeline number 1 down, and then close this, drag timeline number 1 over here, drag that over there. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, because I changed the resolution back, that's why. So I'm going to delete this. I don't want that. I'm going to open the media pool, go to timeline number 2. I think that switches it, yeah. And then if I play this, I'll be doggone. Interesting. So timeline number 1. There's timeline number 1. Oh, you got to double click it. So here's timeline number 1. This is timeline number 2. Same shot and different results. Now, let's just say I wanted to include the post. Well, I just come up here to the position, and I can literally pan wherever I want. I think this is a pretty cool feature. Okay, I can put this wherever I want, and it still stays in the TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. I know it's YouTube for sure, and I believe it's TikTok. So I'm going to start right there, and I'm going to put a keyframe right here. Okay, and then you can zoom as well, in and out, but you got to be careful with that because that looks horrible, and that puts that out of the frame. So then let's say you want that, then you can just move it back and recenter it, and you set, it should have set another keyframe, but it didn't. I'm not sure why. So let's scrub through this a little bit, and let's just say I want to end it at 30 seconds, which is right, close enough right there. It's horrible, it's terrible, but whatever. So let's bring the camera back. Well, that looks terrible. Let's bring it more to bring me in frame right here, right, like that, and it should add a keyframe. So now if we were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames past that, make a cut right here, get rid of this, using the keyboard, go to the home, closing this so we have full screen, pressing the space bar.
So this is the 11th hole, which is Nimish's home because you had to pass by a creek, and there's water hazard in the middle. So let's see what's gonna happen here. You're about to cheese. So.
Now this is not practice. This is not scripted. This is just me playing around, seeing what I can figure out. I was actually trying to figure something else out, but I'm gonna like this a little bit better. Now I'm out of frame. Now I'm in frame. And there you go. In the matter of minutes, 10 minutes to be pretty precise, we have created a very crude and rudimentary 30-second upload for YouTube. Now there are all kind of things in here that I can mess with. I know that because I looked at this earlier, I was actually looking for something else. I know I can come right here and it starts all over again, but it's still going to be in that format, okay? And we can scrub through here, get the bind tree. So I think right somewhere right in this general area. Oh, because, all right, so let's zoom this over this way, or no, there you go, zooming it out. And you got to keep the ratio. You notice if we zoom it like that, that looks horrible. So you got to keep the ratio linked. So this looks good. I want to change the position. I think this is a ball right here, but she just walked right past it. We thought the ball went to the left of the tree, which that's to the left of the tree. We could not find the ball. I'm almost 99% sure this is a ball. Now, if I uncheck this, I wonder, can I zoom? Oh, I can elongate it a little bit, so that looks terrible. So we're going to put this back. We're going to recheck it, and we're going to type in 1.030. Changes it back. Well, we're going to put 1. Well, that changed everything. That's interesting. That's fine because she does walk by this. If I were to make a cut, again, going back about a couple frames, making a cut here, then I can get rid of this because it's already basically cut there. And if we play through this, so you can see it's just real quick, right? I think that's a ball. I really do. And I don't have any means yet to figure out how to zoom it in to verify it or not. So I could make another cut again, or I can take this back to the beginning here. I can keyframe it right there. Then I can change the position a little bit to right there and move it forward. Change the position again to there. Should have automatically keyframed it. Go ahead and do this again. Change the position again. Can't change the Y though because it does that. So we'll go with that. And then I forgot to see where we were at here. So 627. So this can go all the way up to about here. We'll make a cut. Get rid of that. And then we play this. Yeah, it's a ball. There's no doubt in my mind that's a ball.
Didn't find it? Okay. So it's one to drop because we cannot find this ball that went to this tree. This big evergreen tree.
So now, as
Okay,
you can
it
see,
smells
I've
so good.
created
I
basically,
love it. Okay.
that turned out really better than I
This is
thought it
really
would.
cold.
I didn't think I'd get all that. So now I have created back-to-back TikTok videos or YouTube video shorts or whatever. So following up a little bit of what I was doing yesterday, I'm going to render these out at the same time. So you go to your render page. I'm going to do something different though, but I should have done this. So I'm gonna expand my timeline a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to change from entire timeline to in and out range. And my first render I want to be right there. We're going to give it no title. We're going to put this on the desktop for now. It's just going to go on the desktop by itself. And it's going to be untitled movie. We're going to save it. And we're going to add it to the render project. Now, we're going to move this over to here. We're going to move the beginning over to here. Here. I think that got it. I'm not sure. We're just going to add the letter A. Keep it in on the desktop. We're going to render it. I got two projects to render. So we're going to highlight the first one, press Control, highlight the second one, and now I have 2 projects to render. So we're going to render them at the same time, basically. And this is something I just started experimenting yesterday when I was doing a project for Alex Cheek on separating a large bunch of music into individual songs. So I'm going to minimize that for now, bring back my desktop, display view, show icons, and naturally it is not on the screen in front of me. Imagine that. So we'll bring him over. Now the purpose for bringing him over is so that I delete him here in a minute, not because I want him on the screen. So let's do Untitled first.
So this is the 11th hole, which is Nurse's home because you have to pass by a creek and there's water hazard in the middle. So let's see what's gonna happen here. About the tree. So, and this is 134 minus 10, 100.
So it worked. It worked out pretty good. It did exactly what I wanted it to. I took a big video and 3 steps, turned it into a short portrait video. That's great. And we'll check the other one. I mean, there's no doubt it's going to work. Yeah, it's a ball. There's no doubt in my mind that's a ball.
Didn't find it? Okay.
Now this one I gotta watch to
So
see.
you want to drop. You cannot find this ball that went to this tree.
And that happens all the time, by the way. Both Jake and I will
Smells so good.
be in the general vicinity of where we think a ball is at, and we'll walk we'll step right over it. It's just amazing. And then when we get 15, 20 feet away, we're coming back to the clubs, we're like, oh, there it is. So that's that. That is great. That worked out the way that I wanted it to. A little bit easier than I wanted it to. And I can do this all day long if I want. I can go in here, bring this back down to the timeline, close it. I can scrub through here and find out any shots I want, and then do the same thing over and 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 over again. So good news from all this is Mrs. K no longer has to shoot it in portrait. She can shoot everything in landscape, and I have the ability to turn it into a short if I so desire. So thank you for watching. I'm not going to save these, not yet anyway, but don't save. And that takes us to the end of today's daily Debacle English daily Davinci Debacle. Thanks for watching. Hope to see everybody tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Indiana time, whatever you want to call it, for the normal, I got to learn to talk, nightly Ken Stout Live with the Zoom Homie show. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.